Patti Smith has had so many compelling chapters in her life. As a singer, as a writer, she's amassed an enormous fan base. She was passionate about her work when she broke on the scene in the 70s, and she's just as passionate, if not more so, today. It would be foolish to categorize Patti Smith. Musician? Of course, she's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But she's also a painter, photographer, poet, mother. To many, she's the very definition of an artist. Patti Smith prefers the all-encompassing title, worker.
You just do your work, whether it's a photograph or a drawing or a poem or a performance. And, you know, I see people, I'm not an aging punk rocker, you know, eking out work.
Eking out work? Hardly. Her 2010 book, Just Kids, chronicling her friendship with the artist Robert Mapplethorpe, became an international success. And now there's a new CD, Banga.
We'll break all the rules.
Much has changed since the releases of her iconic 1970s albums, Horses and Easter, but her process remains the same.
Study, contemplation, global concern, the loss of people. It's a very similar record.
Each morning, she maintains a ritual that began when she was a child, writing about her dreams.
I was dreaming in my dreaming.
Sometimes I didn't know what to write, so I would just record my dreams.
You might think you know her. CBGB's, the Chelsea Hotel, the so-called godmother of punk. But Patti Smith will surprise you.
My greatest urge is to speak to you of dental care. My generation had a rough go dentally.
She's also a knowledgeable horse racing fan. Her influences are many and varied. It's remarkable that the woman who wrote this diatribe against factory life in her South Jersey hometown
I got something to hide here called desire, and I will get out of here.
also grew up wanting to be the next Johnny Carson.
When I'm on stage and something goes wrong or somebody's heckling me, I just go right into Johnny Carson mode, and I never have a problem.
Banga is named after a character in the renowned satirical Soviet novel The Master and Margarita. Writers play an active, tangible role in Smith's life, like the English poet William Blake.
I, a child, and thou, a lamb, we are called by his name. Little lamb, God bless thee. Little lamb, God bless thee.
At this Barnes & Noble appearance, Smith said that if she could pick one part of her life to go back to, it would be when she was 10, back in South Jersey. She went back there to visit her parents in Steven Sebring's 2008 film about Smith, Dream of Life.
I've gone deaf in one ear because of listening to her band at the Truck, not the Truck, but the Tower Theater.
I never wanted to grow up. I was a real Peter Pan kid. I was actually horrified to find out that we didn't have a choice.
Before attending Deptford Township High School, Smith spent a lot of time bedridden, suffering from a number of illnesses, including scarlet fever. She read a lot, and she also had a seminal musical moment, hearing soprano Eleanor Stieber sing an aria from Madame Butterfly.
I was just telling my mother to play it again, and it was like the only glimmer, she said, that she got out of me. So my mother, it's just, my mother took the tip money for like 2 days of tip money and went to a record store and bought me the box set with the libretto of Eleanor Stieber performing Madame Butterfly. I still have it.
After high school, Smith worked in a factory, went to Glassboro State College, had a child who was placed for adoption, and left for New York. Once here, she met many who were using drugs and alcohol. But Smith says she merely observed because she liked to work, didn't like peer pressure, and understood from her own childhood that life was tenuous.
Out of respect to my parents, I would never throw away the life that they labored so hard to keep on earth. And I think it's very paramount in why I've never been self-destructive.
After Smith's initial success, Bruce Springsteen sent her a tape with a song she initially avoided, until she spent a night waiting for her boyfriend to call and popped the tape into the cassette machine.
By the time he had called me, I had written all the verses and to the biggest song that I was ever involved with. And that's why it says, "Have I doubt when I'm alone, love is a ring, the telephone."
Her life then took a compelling turn. She married musician Fred Sonic Smith, left New York, and moved to Detroit to raise a family.
We lived a life of some struggle, some financial struggle, some strife, and but I loved my life there. People wondered, how I could go from playing in a stadium with a rock and roll band to scrubbing floors, and it's part of my upbringing.
In 1993, Smith returned to New York to give a poetry reading in Central Park. She was nervous. Her husband and brother were in the audience, and it was their support that got her through.
I'm going to go out of here. I'm going to get on that train. I'm going to go on that train. I'm going to go to New York City. And I'm going to be somebody.
Brings it home to me so clearly how vibrant they were in '93, to have lost them both in '94. But I still feel their support.
Smith moved back to New York with her 2 children shortly thereafter and has never left.
Spirited away, buried inside.
Patti Smith is musician, artist, photographer, poet, mother, lover of William Blake and opera and horse racing. She is all of it, still.
I do my work. I don't try to recollect or revive or approximate any other period of work. I'm just moving forward.
Patti Smith begins a summer-long European concert tour on Friday. This fall, she'll open for Neil Young, including November 27th at the Garden. For more stories about Because the Night, her mother's feelings about the Stone Pony, and extended portions of this interview, go to our website at ny1.com/one-on-one.